Hi, how are you? As you know, I'm Monsignor Ferrarese, pastor of Immaculate Conception. I want to invite you into my home. This is my rooms in the rectory. You have always been so generous with me in allowing me into your home. So I thought for these little spiritual chats, it might be a good idea that you enter into my space a little bit. I think it's just, I discovered one of the things I've really understood more deeply is how much the people and the priests are together, and how much our different vocations work together. And I miss you guys very much. So welcome. I'd like to talk a little bit about people are at home, and there's a feeling sometimes in home that that's not where religious things happen. But really, the church speaks about the domestic church, the church of the home, which is so important. And now is becoming even more important than ever, because so many of you are confined to the home. So it's important to realize that prayer and religious feelings and religious attitudes and things really begin in the home. I remember when I was on sabbatical, I had this great experience. They enabled us, they separated us from in different groups, and we went to synagogues for the Sabbath service at Friday night. I was just sitting next to someone who was helping me with the Hebrew, and I said to him, "Well, where are you from?" And he said, "Brooklyn." I said, "Well, I'm Brooklyn too. I'm from Brooklyn and Queens." And I explained it was really wonderful experience. But anyway, then they let us go to with the family. So I went with the family. Actually, they were originally from England, but they moved to Israel. And so I was there in their home for the meal, the Sabbath meal together. And I was amazed. It's tremendously beautiful. The dad asked each of the children to come to him, and he gave a special blessing on each child in his own words. It was really so beautiful. And then when we sat at table, we sang some Hebrew songs, which I couldn't follow necessarily. And but I saw that faith was part of the family, and that the home was a great place to connect with God. And this was like a tremendous insight for me to see this connection between the home and religion. That religion really begins in the home, and therefore your connection with your own home is so very important. And that you might think, of course, it's wonderful to go to church, it's wonderful to enter the church. The church is created and sculpted and decorated so that you could feel closer to God in that space. Home sometimes is not, but this might give us an opportunity to place different things in a certain way in the home. Maybe create a little shrine in one side of one of the rooms, or a room itself, or as you could put, if you have a beautiful icon. This is an icon that I did as part of a workshop on actually drawing icons and to write them, which is the precise term for it. So it could be just an icon, it could be a statue, it could be something where you keep reminding yourself that that's where the faith is. You might even put the computer somewhat there too, because as you know, a lot of the religion is on the computer now, because you're seeing me probably on a computer or at least a smartphone, and so that's a very important reality for all of us. And so it might be something, or an iPad, whenever you're watching something religious, can be placed in the shrine area. It could be wonderful. You could put little pictures of, for instance, deceased members of your family you want to remember in some ways, in prayer, etc. Maybe you're separated from someone you love very much, and so you place their photograph there to remind yourself to pray for them all the time. So it's a wonderful way of doing that. Another thing you can do, of course, before, people used to, as a family, say the rosary. It's a wonderful thing to do, to say the rosary together. I realize sometimes it's a little bit difficult because in every family there's some who are believers, some who are not so sure about their belief, and you don't want to create an awkward situation for them, but at the same time, it might be a good time to invite them to enter into the spirit of prayer. You have to judge it on your own, in your own place, in your own home. And so the rosary would be a wonderful thing. And the Bible. Many homes have a Bible, but it's often on a shelf. It's not really read. That could be part of your shrine area, or you can just take it and begin with one of the Gospels. Take the Gospel of Matthew or Mark, Luke or John, anyone that you feel attracted to, and read a little bit out loud or to yourself. It's a wonderful way of making the reality of the Scriptures something in the home, something for us. Of course, you can pray before and after meals, of course. There are other opportunities that you could begin to make the home a more religious place. I sometimes go to homes, Catholic homes, that you would not know they're Catholic because they have pictures of rock stars and sports stars and all kinds of, but there's hardly ever a religious feel to the house. It may not be, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be another church, but you can create a space, create a home so that when someone enters the home, they know that this is a Catholic family. It's a wonderful way of sharing that. So I hope this is you find this helpful. Rather than preaching, I feel that this kind of sharing would be a better, another way of reaching out to all of you. So I hope to be able to do this on a regular basis so that you can come into my home and I can share with you my faith, and hopefully together we'll get through this crisis and be able to be better Christians, better Catholics at the end. So I thank you for coming, and I ask God's blessings upon you and on your family.